Let's take the disobedience of Adam, for example, the fall of Adam, and just ask some simple questions. For example, if God knew that Adam would disobey, are we really to believe that there was no possible way for the God of the universe to have prevented his disobedience? He could not have given him a heads up and said, hey, you know what? Satan's going to come along. Don't fall for it. He couldn't have given him like visions. If you do this, this fall will happen, and look at all the terrible things you're going to cause if you disobey me. He couldn't have done that or something like that to prevent the disobedience of Adam. I'd like somebody to answer that question because I think it's pretty obvious that God could have. And if he could have and didn't, then that raises the point that maybe, just maybe, the fall was part of God's plan, right? Plan A, not plan B.
I think it's the same ultimate question. Why put the tree in the garden in the first place? And that is, I think, in order for the son to recognize what it's like to live out from underneath the protection of his father, he has to go experience that. He has to go experience the pigsty in order to appreciate unconditional love. And so Adam and Eve weren't perfect. They were mutable. They weren't sinners, but they were able to fall. And they certainly didn't understand unconditional love. No one does until they've reached the pigsty of their life, until they reach the end of the rope. And so I think God created an avenue by which we can go our own way so that we can experience what true love and relationship is, which is a relationship worth having.
We're talking about Adam, so we just have to ask, what was the state of Adam prior to God placing the tree and giving the command? He obviously wasn't a morally neutral zombie lumbering around the garden, brain dead. God created him. Everything was good. Are you going to say that Adam did not have a relationship, a true loving relationship with God prior to God placing the tree and giving the command? And if your answer is he did have a true relationship with God prior to the placing the tree and giving the command, then your claim that free will and the possibility of sin is required in order for a true relationship to be true is just refuted right on the spot. Because we can just ask the question, why did God place the tree there to begin with? Now, a lot of free will people say that God had to for this very reason. God had to place the tree there so that the possibility of evil was there, so that a true relationship could be there. But again, what was the state of the relationship of Adam and God prior to the tree? And it's pretty obvious that it wasn't some zombie state, it wasn't meaningless, it wasn't robotic or anything like that. It was a true loving relationship, regardless of whether or not a command was given, regardless of whether or not the possibility of evil was there. Why did God place the tree there to begin with?
The whole point, in my estimation, of putting the tree there in the first place, that really becomes the biggest question is if God doesn't want them to fall, then why put the tree there? And why make the rule even? If you don't want people to fall, then don't make a law.
Well, if God knew that Adam would disobey, the fall was part of God's plan. Plan A, not plan B.